Why have we stopped, Detective? All of a sudden,
You must.
all of us,
You must.
Chief,
But I wouldn't question.
I,
Start.
Dr. Hatur?
I'll be. My. I'm.
What?
He
Could,
Oh, the from.
what?
I don't.
Could,
That.
we have,
If I beat them. Go.
We have to split, Benedict. I'm going to the lodge. You should go back to the house, in case Victoria comes back.
I don't, she said, who, did you,
Hey, before...
a couple of, if they, and what about her,
We should...
don't,
Just...
I've noted,
Eating.
it's, how, no,
You...
I'll, give it,
But...
I don't, God,
She...
my,
If she...
you think she,
Card...
I'm,
You...
it's barely readable. That must read, Sveti Kotar, and that should be the coat of arms of Croatia, the chessboard. Ivan Kotar, Sanctus Patronus. Only dust remains of the thing that was set on fire last night. For some people, this stone is the only hope they have left. Beloved wife and mother, Melita Lavnyak, missing since October 1991 at the entrance of Carcassa. Young Kadia, missing his love since June. Haven, last seen on the last day of February 1993. Our beloved priest and friend. Anyone found my legs yet? I'm no expert, but I'm pretty confident this is a 15th century map of Europe. Everything in this town revolves around that troubling period of human history. White and red squares, a Croatian version of the chessboard. Asom Tavruli at the top, and the other two are Malleus Maleficarum by Heinrich Kramer, and an unnamed manuscript by Herodotus. What a strange taste for books.
Who is it?
I'd like to ask you some questions.
About what?
Different things. Maybe you could help me?
A stranger.
Could you come out of the room?
No, and I don't want to talk to you. Take a look at my inventory. Read some books. Do whatever you want. I don't care about those knockoffs. And take a sample of the town's map from the desk. That way you can't say I didn't help you.
But I...
Stop talking. I want silence.
It evokes a repulsive feeling, and I guess that is its purpose, but I'm not sure it's something God would approve of, no matter the cause. Suvenirnica Lavenjak. Ah, the drawing makes perfect sense. Lav in Croatian should mean lion. Tiny chairs of torture and bells. I must say they are faithfully recreated to the smallest detail. They look so awkward and unnatural, as if made by someone who never saw them living. Statues and death masks of Ivan Kotar, and some small-sized replicas of the torture wheel. Weird executioner masks. They genuinely look old. A strange, tiny-sized tree with red leaves. Growing out of a head vase makes it even stranger, if not morbid. Madam?
Do I look like a madam to you?
Well...
You're going to make me blush, sir. Welcome to my little hut. My name's Ida. Ida Lavnjak.
I already know your name.
How? Do I know you?
Not really, but you know my sister. I was with her last night.
Oh, yes, I remember now. The shy and anxious older brother, Benedict. Or should I say, monk Benedict.
She said that?
No, sir. It's just the way you looked. Why didn't you come closer when we called you?
Her eyes focused somewhere behind me, with a weary and terrified gaze.
It's all right. You don't have to answer. Where's Victoria?
She disappeared.
Oh no, not her. Not again. I hope she's not another victim of the moon.
Last night, did she come back after we left the square?
There were a lot of people here long after that, and I was preparing to close, so I really couldn't say.
Have you seen her today?
No, I don't think so. What's going on?
She was seen pushing a man from the castle's roof last night.
I heard about that accident this morning. She did that. She really pushed that man.
Eyewitnesses saw her.
Liars. Who are these people?
Does it really matter?
I don't know what to say except that Victoria is a good person. She looks so gentle and vulnerable. Like a butterfly. How can I help?
I don't know. Maybe you can't. Maybe only God can do something. Not even God. She's lost forever. You've heard about the mayor.
Heard what?
They found his body in the forest.
What? Who told you that?
The police forced me to see it. The body was hanged from the belfry of the Church of Mary. Mutilated, disemboweled, and half-eaten by the crows.
Those animals. I'm sorry you had to see that. Poor mayor. I'll light up a candle for him today.
What can you tell me about Nedman?
Never seen him, but have heard and retold many stories about him. What do you want to know?
It's a small town. How come you've never seen him?
Because he's one of those who lives under the moonlight, while the rest of us do our best to keep away from it.
A moon ghoul?
The worst of them all.
What book are you reading?
The Divine Comedy. I needed something to cheer me up.
So where's Dante now?
Who?
Dante, the hero of the book? In what part of the book are you now?
Oh yes, how silly of me. He's in a dark forest and there are beasts he cannot evade. I think they symbolize something else.
Sins. The beasts represent the self-indulgent, the violent, and the malicious.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, the book intrigued me because the descriptions of where he is in the beginning reminded me of this valley. Does that make sense to you? I told this to my father and he scolded me right away.
You are quite right, madam.
Now all we need is our Virgil to rescue us.
Where should I look for Victoria? She won't come out in the open. It would be too risky.
Well, if I were you, I'd start my search in the forest.
In Carcassa?
Udav Mountain could be a good place to start too, but I've never been there, so I can't give guidance.
Carcassa and Udav are forbidden places, aren't they?
I don't believe what they say about them. The forest is a beautiful place. The tall trees, Pepel, the river spring and the silence. Listen. Search the forest. Make sure not to get caught while entering, and keep your eyes open once inside. You'll be fine.
Who decided to forbid these places?
Ironically, the same man that was found dead in the heart of the forest, Mayor Ranko Merzel.
You think his death had something to do with the decision?
No, I don't know. The proof of fate is a decree that he put in place soon after taking control of the town. It's a decree that compels people to stay away from the places on the list, and to report suspicious activities and misbehavior.
Such as?
Blasphemous and heretical talk, to name a few. But the decree's main objective is to find and execute those against or unfaithful to God.
She sounds like she doesn't approve of this.
I guess it's a good thing. I don't know.
You don't adhere to the law.
Not in this case, at least not entirely. You know. And please don't say this to anyone, or you'll have me tortured and killed, alright?
Go on. I promise.
Carcassa has been like my second home in the last few years. I can't get enough of its silence. I know what you are going to say. It's dangerous, dark, and forbidden. But listen to me. Sometimes it gets dangerous, true. And the mayor's death proves it. But isn't that normal? It's life. It's people.
It's life. Everything here feels rotten and reeks of death.
Don't say that. And don't talk to others this way. If we stop dreaming and lose hope, what do we have left? Look, I don't know if you should go into the forest. I don't want to get you in trouble or killed. I have no idea where you should look, really. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, I have something here. It might not tell you where to go, but at least give you some orientation. A map of the town and its surroundings. How does that sound?
Thank you, but I already have one.
Oh, good. Just be careful.
How come you weren't dressed as a priest last night?
That question.
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry, nothing against you. But it's the same annoying question that keeps coming back at me, like a bat flapping in circles, year after year. I see October 28th on the calendar, and I know what's coming to bite me.
So what's the reason?
I tell everyone I can't wear it because I have to work. But the truth is, I don't believe it will make a difference if I did. In general, the ritual doesn't make a difference.
Why does everyone else wear it?
Because the inhabitants believe we are all disciples of Ivan Kotar, and so we have to dress like them on the day. Not just in the evening when the effigy is set on fire, but all the time, from dawn to dusk.
But what is the reasoning behind it? The dress is just a terrifying shadow of what a priest's robe should look like.
There's a belief that wearing it scares off demons, witches, and other evil spirits. I guess the darker it looks, the scarier it is. I don't know.
The effigy turned into ash last night. What does it represent?
A demon slave of the moon god. The effigy ritual marks the end of the day of Ivan Kotar. People gather on the square, they pray and chant as one voice. Which sounds beautiful. It's the best part. No, it's the only part of the day I love.
I thought the exact opposite. It was a disturbing scene, and I felt true, primal fear.
Then the mayor comes out and everyone stops, and when the last words leave his mouth, the effigy is finally set on fire.
Has anyone been hurt over the years? The fire spreads very quickly, a wide and massive whirl as if ignited from the darkest of places.
No, not that I recall of. Why? Oh, you mean because they stand so close to the figure?
Yes, and because it could come down at any moment. It's so tall, the nearby buildings could be hit.
Nothing to worry about. God is protecting them. Or at least it's what they believe. Oh, and those who are tasked with creating the effigy are given a free pass into the forest. Can you guess why?
No.
You haven't even tried to guess. Because it's made of black wood, plant roots, and undergrowth from Carcassa. Slaves of the moon god supposedly live or dwell as spirits if they are dead, inside the forest, and so, you know. Some of the townsfolk even swear to hear the wailing of demons the whole night after the fire. I don't know.
Your last name is Lovniak, right?
Not a hard guess. It's on the sign.
Melita is your mother?
She is... was. Why?
What happened to her?
We don't know. She just disappeared. Exactly 5 years ago yesterday.
Did she die or just go missing?
I remember it as if it were yesterday. We went to the church, prayed, wore the disciple dresses, scared some kids. So much fun and joy. A long time ago she came up with this crazy thought. When I grow up, we will have a day only for us. Just the two of us, without father. And so, over the years, it became a tradition. Father was so jealous, but happy. We were all happy. Anyway, tired and feeling sick, I chose to go home that day, right before the effigy ritual.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked.
It's all right. On my way out of here, I turned around and she looked at me with those beautiful green eyes, and I remember seeing them change color. Her neck bent awkwardly, both eyeballs instantly became blood red, and I heard her screaming even if her mouth didn't open. We don't know what exactly happened to her, but since it was a full moon night, we just knew.
Forgive me, but... Are you sure her eyes changed color?
Absolutely. Why?
You said they were blood red, right?
Correct.
The same color as the leaves on this tiny tree you have.
So?
Maybe in the moment you saw the blood red color of the leaves, your mind just thought it was her eyes.
No, Benedict. Her neck bent and her eyes turned blood red, and I heard her scream.
Memories can be deceitful.
I planted this tree after she went missing, because the color of its leaves reminded me of that day. It reminds me of her. And my guilt. Notice the vase. That's her. That's my mother's face. I recreated her entire head.
Surely a morbid way to remember a loved one. You didn't ask around if anyone saw something?
Father did, and the only information he managed to get, after all these years, is that she was last seen entering the Carcassa forest. Alone.
So she wasn't actually taken away?
Of course she was. I don't believe what the police said. Why would she go into the forest on her own? She was terrified of it. It just doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes sense anymore.
Something is off here. Excuse me.
Sure.
Lots of fog in these portraits. Not quite sure if it's a stylistic choice. The emerging faces are pretty ugly and creepy. An old woman with white hair, white dress, and big white teeth. She's doing her best to look happy. It's missing an eye. The man who did this and put it on display here is a brainless, primitive psychopath. It's just a mock-up of a strange tree with small red leaves and branches pointing skyward. Slips of paper have been squeezed in the fissures between the bricks. I'm curious. I'll read one. Voices now carry, shadows take form. Oh God, have mercy on me, for I fear the thing that possesses me. A wall of laments? Inside a tavern? Take my son and husband. Just make my agony go away. Forgive me. I'm here at your feet, with you in my heart. From the day I arrived, life has been a blessing, and this town a dream. I thank you for that. I'm here at your feet, with you. We are all captives of this place, imprisoned souls waiting for our Savior. Let him descend upon the valley, save us, give us the light. Darkness, shrieking, trembling, you left me in the mine, and now I have no God. My vengeance nears. My days and nights are nearly over, so let me thank you for everything you've done. I choose to live in darkness. I choose to be safe. Yesterday, I followed a swarthy old woman into the forest. I don't know if it was an apparition. I don't know the reason why I did it. It was all blackness and silence. My heart is dark now, my soul is cursed. I can feel it. Have mercy on me, for I had such a weakness of faith. The dead are disappearing and the believers are dying. For the love of humanity, do something, Almighty. He who confesses obtains mercy. I was lost until I gave myself to the Lord, but now I'm redeemed by the perfect blood of my child. I had a vision of Ivan Kotar. He led me into the kingdom of Ahrisat. What does it mean? My God, am I doomed? Bind their power, prevent their progress, banish them. My shepherd, free us all. That's it. I've read them all. This wall is just more proof how backwards and horrible a place Sveti Kotar is. It's a nightmare. I'm not a thief. Excuse me.
What do you want?
Remember me?
Should I?
From last night? My sister and brother-in-law were with me.
I'm not a visual man. I don't remember faces. They dissolve into fog pretty fast.
So you don't remember my sister Victoria? The two of you talked last night.
Victoria, you say? I remember her glasses and name.
Did you see her today?
No. You've lost her?
She lost herself, and we cannot find her.
Keep looking and seek help from God. Or ask someone who thinks to be one.
And who would be that fool?
Fool. Funny you say that, because that's how I call him too. My cousin Norin.
The chief of police is your cousin?
Dominic Norin, the feared and respected law of the valley of Sveti Kotar.
I've had a chance to talk with him already. He doesn't seem to know where Victoria is.
That means nothing. He's either lying or you're a fool as much as he is. Was there anyone else when he talked to you?
Yes.
He likes that. He likes to be on the stage, in front of a crowd.
If I decide to talk to him, where should I go?
You'll find him in his office at the police station. It's where he eats, sleeps, and fulfills his needs. Talk to him alone. He's more vulnerable without a crowd. Walk into the police station. His office is the door on the left. Just knock and tell him Davor Gorski has sent you.
All right.
He won't care, so you'll have to give him a good reason to let you in. Luckily, that reason is in front of your eyes.
You? I don't understand.
A gift. The cleaver. Right in front of you.
A cleaver will make him change his mind? Is this a joke?
No joke. It'll wait for you here for whenever, if ever, you decide to talk to the fool.
Sveti Kotar is a small town. Where do strangers go when they visit? Any particular place I should know of?
Ah, glad you're asking. I got many recommendations. You should definitely venture into the Carcassa forest. Its trees are magical this time of year. Then don't miss out on the greatest view of the valley. Climb to the top of the Udav mountain and enjoy the breathtaking sight. Lastly, take a diving course at the Lake Hali. I mean, forget about people. Don't ask anyone. Just dive. Just do it yourself and enjoy the rich underwater life. Your soul will be grateful. Grateful beyond imagination if you dip your toes into the spring of the Henna River.
I feel like you're mocking me.
I am.
What was that huge, horrible thing that was set on fire last night?
Tradition. This town has a history of blaming everyone except God.
God is never to be blamed. He has his own ways of...
Blah, blah, blah. I heard it 1,000 times before. People around here blame strangers, good spirits, demons, witches, and even the Vatican. Everyone else except the one they idolize.
The Vatican?
Crazy thing for a Catholic town, isn't it?
But why? And why do you say they should blame God?
Look around you. Talk to people. Stay long enough and you'll understand.
Tell me about the moon ghouls.
They will eat your soul and feast over your flesh.
You know who they are?
A cannibal tribe that follow the moon demons. The moon is the key.
In what way?
I already said too much. Seek more knowledge elsewhere.
Are you a taxidermist?
A what?
Do you prepare dead animals for fun?
I enjoy slaughtering them. I love my job.
So you are a butcher?
I prefer Slaughterman. Why? What's this all about?
I was asking myself about that poor pig and its head displayed like a trophy.
You have a problem with that?
It's missing an eye, and...
And?
I believe it's a mortal sin to torture defenseless animals.
You know why? Because you are one of them. Like a sheep who follows words and moral codes. You feel endangered, vulnerable, and mortal.
It's actually the other way. I feel...
You don't feel bad or sorry or sad for that pig. You're terrified because you see your own head on that wall.
It's pointless to argue with this man. I have better things to do.
Nothing to say. Good.
What's the story of the bricked-up window you have here?
Human rats kept breaking in and stealing from me. The alley's pretty dark at night, so it was perfect for them. I couldn't find out who they were, so I decided to poison the food. It worked. It was all right for a while. But then the break-ins started again, and I said no more. Walls always work. They divide the sane from the mentally ill, and the rich from the poor. We need walls.
Thank you for the background story, sir, but I meant what's the story behind the slips of paper in the wall?
Of course you meant that. What else would you be interested in after all? I keep them because they amuse me.
How so?
I laugh at how weak and pathetic my fellow townsfolk are. They bring me lots of joy, especially the ones talking to God.
You have a problem with faith?
Do I look like a sheep to you?
This is a madman. No, you do not.
Right answer, priest. Right answer.
I'm not a priest.
I'm not a fool.
Excuse me. Am I really going to take it?
Good. Very good, priest. Now go. Walk bravely into the Temple of Law. You're bringing a gift.
I don't know what I'm doing.